think you do. I don't think you get what you're saying. Hello, good morning.
Oh, good morning, BBs. It is too early.
It sure is.
Welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence. I'm Anthony Carboni.
And I'm Saige Ryan.
You gotta look right into the sun.
You should get the appropriate glasses so that you can look into the sun today because there is a solar eclipse.
Don't let the science or the government or the laws of nature tell you you can't look right into the sun.
I let them tell me that every single day.
Don't let them tell you.
I let them every day tell me that.
No, things that they can't tell you.
Okay.
To not look into the sun.
Uh-huh.
Things that they can't tell you to wear glasses.
Actually, my driver's license literally stipulates that I have to.
Oh, are you driving into the sun?
Wear glasses.
If you're driving into the sun.
No, they just like every day. Anytime I operate a vehicle. In fact, I've already been asked about this in the chat.
I don't believe in them.
Yeah.
I don't do it.
Yeah.
I won't do it. Well, oh, okay. They're just going to have my picture on a card?
Yeah.
On file?
Yeah, he doesn't have a Costco card either. It's a bummer.
No. I don't have a Costco card. I sneak in every time I go to Costco. It's tough to sneak out with a 15-gallon tub of mayonnaise, but I do.
Incredibly impressive. It's honestly easier to get around without a license than get out of Costco without a Costco card.
Do you know what the easiest thing is, though?
What?
Look right into the sun.
Yeah, really easy.
It's super easy.
Well, the glasses thing reminds me, and I already got asked about this in chat. One of the first things in here was Flatlander saying, Saige, can you see us? I had a predicament this weekend where I lost an entire day because I couldn't find my glasses.
Oh.
And I ran out of contact lenses. I want you all to know, I ordered my contact lenses in time, okay? But that
sounds like the sort of thing that somebody that ordered their contacts late would say.
But I didn't. I ordered them. And then I call and I say, hi, where are my contact lenses? And they went, they came to your city. And then the USPS just decided to keep them. It wasn't my fault.
I had to mail a package on Saturday.
Yeah.
And the guy at the counter was eating contact lenses.
Shit. That's it.
Just snacking on them.
That's where my contact lenses went.
Like soft ones, right?
Yeah.
Like the disposable ones?
Yeah.
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 That's probably
Those
yours.
are probably mine. Damn. And those things are expensive too. It's an expensive snack anyways.
It is.
I couldn't find my
You're
glasses.
kind of an expensive snack. Hey, we've got some people in the live studio audience who are in the path of totality.
Yeah.
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 For the eclipse.
Whoa.
That's pretty cool.
Do y'all have to drive into it or do you live in the path of totality? That sounds like that sounds like a D&D book, right?
Dude,
that sounds like a 5th edition book.
Oh yeah.
The path of totality.
It's definitely, that was definitely a sci-fi dime novel on my mom's shelf when I was growing up. The path of totality.
Yeah.
We're so far away from the path of totality.
We are.
But I brought us little glasses.
Yeah, we should be able to see something.
We're not going to use them. I brought them so we could set them on fire and do an Instagram of us setting the glasses on fire while we look directly into the sun.
Between one person eating soft contact lenses and you setting glasses on fire, this is getting really insulting as a person who don't see too good.
Listen, if you weren't born with good vision, it's the purge. It's the purge for you. That's what happens. That's just... Things get real wacky during an eclipse, Saige, you know?
Yeah.
There's all kinds of strange animals start acting strangely. People start eating contact lenses.
Yeah.
People are setting fires. People will drive straight into that sun if you let them, if it doesn't say they can't on their license.
Alex, does your license say that you can drive straight into the sun if you're
It does actually.
without glasses?
Yeah.
Wow.
When I came out as trans, they gave me a new license that says I'm allowed to set things on fire.
Yeah.
Drive directly into the sun.
Okay.
And change anyone's gender that I want to.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really cool.
Well, good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
That's so dope. You know, I never knew that was the case. I knew you had to get a special endorsement to ride a motorcycle.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that you could just get a special endorsement to set things on fire.
Yeah. Well, you can't.
No, I can't.
Yeah. But
No,
Alex
I can't.
So that makes sense why you didn't know that. Well, everybody, the solar eclipse is happening here after the show. So we still have a normal show scheduled for you. And then we're going to go look into the sun immediately after. But there are things going on today.
Sure.
We got things to talk about. We're going to talk about some contrasting industry executives' commentary on the current state of games. We got our business hats on. We're going to talk about...
That sounded very businessy.
Yeah, it is kind of businessy.
It's a little businessy.
It's a little businessy, continuing a little businessy.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about a bipartisan push for an internet privacy bill.
Huh.
Continuing a little businessy.
Damn.
Yeah.
We fancy.
Yeah.
We've got insightful commentary on the state of things. Also,
What?
no, that's it.
Really?
That's it. That's what we got.
Yeah, you just shut off.
Well, there's some other stuff going on, I guess, but it does all sound businessy. And I was like, I'm going to read something that doesn't sound super businessy or super about like the state of things.
Sure.
But it's all kind of about the state of things, except for like, I don't know.
We got some Disney
Except for like
release
some
dates.
Disney release
We got
dates.
some Disney release dates. We got some Game of Thrones prequel casting. Because they're making more
Can
Game
you
of Thrones
believe
shows.
They're still doing that?
so many.
Hey, are any of y'all in the live studio audience watching that Targaryen show? Did you watch it?
A lot of people did, actually.
A lot of people watch the Targaryen show. But
Yeah.
here's the thing. I see the numbers. People are like, oh, so many people watch the Targaryen
Dragon.
show. And then I'm like, hey, all the people I know, any of y'all watch that Targaryen show?
Yeah.
And everybody's like, nah.
We got 2 yeses already in the chat. We got Shelley Von Miller with a yes. We got Comrade Kia with a yes.
The tension says they've only watched the gay edits
Oh, okay.
on YouTube.
That
I would
sounds like a
imagine.
fun way to watch shows.
Yeah.
I never thought of that. If I don't want to consume a whole show, just watch the gay edits. Ooh, putting that on my list.
Yeah, do
Gay
that.
edits of it. Yeah, we had a lot of people in the chat that watched it.
Wait, what was your general feeling, live studio audience? Put down what you thought.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I'm curious because I don't know. It seems so odd to me that it's going full steam ahead.
Hold on. Brian Ashman, said, I'm a fan, and then used the acronym for House of the Dragon, which is Hot D.
Yeah. Yeah, a Hot D fan.
Like even the little lowercase o, Hot D?
Yeah, it's a Hot D. Because you can't, the can't be a capital in an acronym or a initialism. So it's got to be
but
so it's got to be
can't.
it's got to be the Hot D.
Hot D.
It's got to be the Hot D.
Because when I first saw it, I'm a fan of hot dogs.
Sure.
thought somebody in our chat just randomly went, I'm a fan of hot dogs.
I love that your adorable little brain went hot dog first
Yeah.
and then Hot D.
And then I went to say it and I was like, oh, teehee Hot D. I still think that actually just means hot dog.
Hudsonizer in the live studio audience says that you need to catch up on the Hot D.
How much Hot D is there?
How much Hot D do you need? It's different for everybody.
How much is available? I really need people to be...
in your area?
Yeah.
How much Hot D is available in your
I need people to be
area?
straightforward about that.
I mean, if you believe what they say when I turn my my ad blocker off, tons of Hot D is available in your area.
Like those Costco hot dogs that like never went up from like $1?
Yeah, I got to rappel down from the ceiling to get those.
I go to Costco a lot these days. I've always got Costco on the brain.
You have turned into a bit of a Costco person.
I have.
You're sort of a buy in bulk kind of person now.
I love it.
You're careful because that's a gateway drug to being a prepper. Yeah, a little bit.
No, it's because you know what it is? I only eat like 3 things.
Contact lenses.
Contact lenses, hot dogs.
Dollar hot dogs.
Dollar hot dogs from Costco.
Chicken nuggets?
Yeah.
All right.
That's it. That's the whole list. But that's it. I could just buy a bunch of the thing I eat. And they also have other stuff. They have things the grocery store doesn't have.
You can get...
I got an air fryer there, dude.
Yeah, sometimes you can get things like you can get 15 gallons of mustard.
Yeah.
Or you can get an air fryer.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you can get the complete works of Chaucer for like $8.
Do you know?
You never know what's going to be there.
Do you know there's an entire side of TikTok that is just people talking about what's new at Costco every week?
I believe that.
They just give all the updates of what you should go and get at Costco.
That feels like the most 2024 America thing.
Yeah.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
what the sweet deals at Costco are this week.
I wonder what the sweet deals at Costco are, says half the country, because we're all poor and conditioned to believe that buying things is the only fun we can have.
Or because we gotta eat.
Look
This is
into the
cheapest
sun.
way to do it.
Look into the sun.
I might be coming around to the idea, you know?
Yeah.
I might be coming around to the idea, all things considered.
I genuinely, my family was a big Costco family growing up.
Yeah.
And I was always fascinated as a kid with the random things that would just, because there's that front area of Costco.
Oh, yeah.
And the front area of Costco is like, who would fucking believe this is at Costco?
You got fancy skincare. You've got home appliances. You've got MacBooks.
You've got a literal Kirkland signature cashmere sweater.
Yeah.
I owned one of those once because I thought it was
Hell
so
yeah.
funny that Kirkland signature
Cheers to
made
that.
made a cashmere sweater. And when I said the complete works of Chaucer, I literally got the complete works of Mark Twain hardcover
Yeah.
at a Costco when I was, it was one of my, it was such a day. We went into the Costco and I saw like the area that sometimes had books.
Uh-huh.
And I saw that they had a new like giant box set of something.
Yeah.
And I went running and it was the complete works hardcover of Mark
Yeah.
Twain for like $40.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, the knowledge. Also, it's free sample day.
It's a good day.
I also went through a period where I would buy those, the ready-made French onion soups in a bread bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
People love those.
You put those in the oven.
Yeah.
Put them all in the oven at once. You got 4 bowls of French onion soup.
Yeah. If you put 4 of anything in the oven, you get 4 of them.
Yeah. But
Why-
think about that.
Yeah.
Think about that value. 4 of them.
I think you've lost the value if you make them all at once.
You got 4 of them. The most they'll bring you at once when you order at a restaurant is 1.
That's not true.
You got to order more than 1 to get more than 1.
You just went to Costco and bought 4
No, you
of
get
them.
4 at once. And then you put them in the oven and you get 4.
That is
And then you can there are 4 French onion soups.
That's the same thing as ordering 4 French onion soups. It's a little cheaper. It's a
No, you're not listening. You're not listening.
so you take
put
it as
4
uh-huh.
French onion soups in the oven.
Yeah.
And then in like 20 minutes,
Yeah.
they come out of the oven hot. And then you have 4 French onion soups.
Yeah, that's
You're not listening
When we're
to
talking
me.
about what's the deal at Costco, that is not what we mean.
That's so weird. I don't think you get what I'm saying.
I don't think I do either. I don't think you do. I don't think you get what you're saying.
I couldn't hold it in.
Hide in your mug, little man.
Oh shit! I don't know why that was so funny to me. It wasn't even a bit, really. Jesus, that was so funny to me. Oh,
People are asking if Anthony already looked into the sun.
Ooh, many a time. Many a time.
Anyways, let's get into the stuff for today. Let's talk about that business.
Sure.
Let's get a little
Which
business.
one? Costco?
No, different business.
Different business.
Sabre? Embracer?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So, Sabre Interactive, massive, mega, big boy company.
They ran away from the Embracer.
Yeah.
They got free of the Embrace.
Yeah. But Sabre also still big boy.
Sabre, big boy.
Sabre, big boy.
Sabre, I think, likes to be thought of as a AA studio,
No.
but they have they're a large operation.
Big operation. Which I just want you to remember when I say the new CEO. I guess their CEO. Give a little commentary on Embracer after escaping the Embrace, saying, look, the Embracer CEO gets a bad rap for all these massive layoffs and studio closures and game cancellations.
Yeah, well, that's only because those are bad things that the CEO is responsible for.
Yeah, I don't think that you can call it a bad rap if it is just literally the things they do. I don't think it's like, oh, he gets a real bad rap for all those crimes he committed. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
no, we're just talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible.
Those are just the facts.
It's possible to have it's possible for people to think poorly of you and for it to be true.
Yeah. If you're just listing off things that you did do, I don't think that's really giving the guy a unfair description You know?
Yeah, no, I think that's actually pretty legit.
Yeah.
When you decide that you're going to try to buy up half of all media at one time before the check comes in from the investor.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, fuck it. We ball.
Yeah.
Which on one level, listen, to wake up in the morning and just say, fuck it, we ball with half an industry.
Yeah. Terrible. Actually, objectively horrible. There's actually no redeeming anything about that.
It's actually horrible.
Yeah.
It's actually horrible, but like, man, it is fascinating that you could just wake up and do it.
It is. It is interesting how much power we give to the wealthy.
That you could just wake up and go, I haven't gotten that $14 billion yet.
So fuck
but I'm going to live like I have.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So fuck it, we ball.
Yeah. When I say something like that, it's like, I don't have the money for all this French onion soup right now. But I'm going to eat some French onion soup.
I'm going to eat French
I'm going to cook 4 because it's a value. So
you weren't going to eat all 4 at once? That wasn't the point?
I'm not a glutton. Who could eat 4 bowls of French onion soup at once? You just cook 4 for the value.
I could do it.
Thank you, Alex.
Well, you said who could eat it.
You could cook 4?
No, Alex is saying eat 4.
Eat 4?
Yeah.
I mean, that's an even better value.
Is it?
Yeah. Because then you're not throwing away 3 French onion soup every time you cook.
Throwing away 3?
You can't leave French onion soup sitting out, Saige. It'll go bad. What I'm saying is when I do that, it's nowhere near the scale that the Sabre CEO can do.
So Sabre CEO has been settling
The most I can fuck up is like...
Yeah.
Not even my own life. Like, I can't even really... I don't have the money to fuck up my own life.
Yeah.
I can only fuck up, like, literally my lunch.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck it, we ball. I'm going to have ice cream instead of real food for lunch.
Right.
And everybody's going to have to live with those decisions.
Yeah. As opposed to like, I'm shutting down your studio and ruining your life and your livelihood.
Yeah. We own Lord of the Rings. And also we just fired all the studios that can make Lord of the Rings games.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
We'll always have Gollum.
Yeah, we will. I found 1.0 on a site. And I'm only ever going to have Gollum 1.0.
Thank goodness.
It's the only one to have. Look.
Anyways, in this, Card said the process that we've had to go through to terminate. Wait, hold on. This was from Card.
Was that from Lars, right? From Sabre?
Yeah. I'm just making sure this is the correct person's quote because I scrolled down to quotation marks. Why don't you also say something and then I will read for a second.
Listen, Lars, what are you doing, man? You honestly had the good guy, like you had the good guy escapee vote.
Yeah.
Like, Lars was final girl. Do you know what I mean? Sabre was final girl.
Yep.
They got away.
Yeah. Then said the killer's not that bad.
Yeah, they were like, they got away and they were like, whoops, my Stockholm syndrome kicked in. I'm going back to see what the Chainsaw Massacre family's up to. I missed them.
Yes, so this is him. This is, goodness gracious, the leader of Sabre that escaped Embracer said, the process that we've had to go through to terminate studios has been, it's killed us. I say us, even though I'm no longer part of the company, because I feel like, I mean, I still have shares. I still have a close relationship and good friends, and obviously the best wishes that they succeed over there. But I would say Embracer has tried harder than anybody to save as many jobs as possible.
Yeah. More than anyone. More than anyone, Embracer is that more than the Labor Relations Board.
Yeah, more than anybody.
More than anyone.
Hey, Sabre wants you to, look, Embracer wants you to work here more than anybody. I mean, not more than you want to work here and have a job, but like, Almost. Listen,
Embracer has done more humanitarian work than Gandhi, and you can quote me.
Yeah.
You can quote me as saying nobody has done more good deeds for the planet Earth.
Yeah.
And when the Lord himself weighs us upon his scales, the only one that shall pass into his kingdom is the Embracer Group.
Yeah, not even people. The company, which is recognized as a person.
Yeah, the company is legally a person.
Continuing, he said, Embracer was forced to make significant changes, but also pointed a finger at other commonly cited factors for layoffs and closures, including rising interest rates.
Yeah,
It made it more difficult to raise money. And a lack of patience for companies that had investments that were long-term into video games.
Oh, man.
Inflation and
Listen, our hyper-capitalist system needs to feed. And you can't really blame Embracer for that.
Yeah.
On that level, Lars, perhaps you're correct.
Yeah.
On another level, Lars, no, you could simply, instead of deciding that line must always go up the most at any given time, you could simply be better. You could simply be better on planning ahead for lean times. You could be better on sitting on investment calls and reassuring your investors so they don't all jump ship when you have to make a little less money that year.
Yeah.
You could figure out ways to instead of giving stock value, give dividends to your stockholders so they hold on to your stock through lean times. And above and beyond all that, you could simply make sustainable business plans and pay your people well. Well,
he says it's because of the impatient people, the growth of Embracer's debt, and the decline in its share price, which he blamed in part on people trying to take advantage of other people's misery by short selling the stock. Also made it difficult to raise capital.
Oh, no. So now Lars is also saying that when Embracer did a big fucky wucky, everyone was wrong to sell their shares.
Yeah.
When the shares started plummeting, they should have held.
Yeah.
But when companies are making less money, they don't have to hold on to their investment.
Correct.
Okay, Lars.
Yeah.
Okay, Lars.
He said, sure, they didn't really need the Savvy Games Group deal, but there's pressure from the market to continually grow and grow fast. And those market pressures can sometimes impact the way you perceive things and judge them. We can't blame the company for listening to the market because it's like really hard to not fall into peer pressure. It's really hard.
It's true.
Sometimes you just have to fire all your employees and close all your studios and stop making all of the games because peer pressure is really hard to say no to.
Yeah, one time all my friends, when we were kids, were jumping off this really high rock.
Yeah.
And I was like, I shouldn't jump off the really high rock. And then everybody else jumped off the really high rock. And they were like, we did it. We were fine.
Yeah.
You should jump off the really high rock. And then I did jump off the really high rock.
Yeah.
And I was fine.
Oh.
So I didn't learn anything.
Oh, okay.
But then the kid after me, who was even more afraid than me, he jumped off the rock and he got hurt. So that's on him.
Okay.
So I'd just like to add that the net profit of Embracer Group in 2023, the third quarter was $1.7 billion.
No, Alex.
Yeah.
No, they're just a little guy. They're very poor.
Listen.
No, they're just very small.
Oh, what can you do?
One quarter.
No, they
They're
lost
selling
so
off
many
the
money.
stock.
They had to lose
People
so many
are short
money.
selling.
And listen, they only made that $1 billion because they had to sell back some of the things that they bought.
Well, there's more on that too. So this guy who keeps, again, being like, he keeps like backtracking himself, like bringing up things that are bad, of being like, sure, I don't work there. I mean, I do have stocks and I do have friends there and I do believe in this company, but I don't work there anymore.
I think, when you say things like that, it's definitely, look, it's slimy business guy, but it's also like, look, you got free of Embracer. You're final girl.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you're not still seeing Ghostface in the mirror all the time.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
I don't know. Sounds like he loves Ghostface.
But no, that's the thing, is you're trying to be like, but it's cool. We're cool.
No.
Everything's cool.
Sydney never said like, but I really try to keep a friendly relationship with Ghostface after the fact. Come on. Said, it is true that when you gather so many assets so quickly, you have to take a deep breath and take stock of what you have. And I also think that when the markets are supporting this kind of manic growth, and you're in a situation where you could take advantage of that, it's hard not to leverage that.
Yeah, it's hard not to take advantage of people. Do you know what I mean?
When you can take advantage of people, it's hard not to.
But at the same time, it's hard not to be generous with people the way Embracer Group is. Do you know what I mean? Like at the same time, it's hard not to be the best people. I mean, look.
What?
The thing is, I understand on a level trying to be diplomatic in public when you're making statements about business. Sure, I understand that.
Saying it's hard not to take advantage of people?
But that's not what you're doing here, bud, is not, this is a self-report. Lars is self-reporting real hard. Do you think, how much do you think Saber's on sale for right now? You think Saber's looking for a new business daddy?
By being like, look how good we've been to our previous business daddy.
And look how much money we're making and look how cool we are?
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, someone please buy us pretty please.
I don't know.
Clone Chow in the live studio audience.
It's also like, it also just lets you know that just because people did the right thing in a specific situation does not mean they are better people.
So
they were
true.
just right in that situation.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Sometimes accidentally, the thing that's good for your employees is also what's best for your business. And that's the only time they do something that's good for their employees.
Also, I have a feeling that Embracer stock is worth more than his Saber stock.
Yeah.
So he's got to be real careful about that.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
You're right.
All you have to do is shut up.
Yeah? How much is, what tell me about money.
Embracer stock is $8 and Saber stock is about $3.
Okay. So yeah, depending on how much stock he's got.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Listen.
One time, I worked for a company that sold to a much larger company. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to name any names, but the small company's name was Grivision Gree. And the large company's name was Discovery Communications.
Okay, yeah.
And we all had shares in the small company. And we were told that those were our shares.
Yeah.
And then when they sold to the larger company, we were like, oh my gosh, they're going to swap out some of our shares or there will be something. No, they simply took all of our shares away.
You can do that.
You could just do that. They gave us, I had something like 6,000 shares or something, and they gave me like $80. They were like, here's the money for your shares. And the executives got to keep all their shares. And all the executives literally the next week, like 2 of them drove up in brand new cars. Like they just went out and bought cars with the cash. And we were just like, and I'm like taking the bus to work.
I've heard nothing but good things about Discovery.
Discovery's great. Discovery's great. And their current CEO,
Yeah.
Gravid Graslov,
Doing good work.
doing good work for everyone.
Well, in the contrast of these kinds of statements from horrible CEOs, the publishing director of Larian always has something great to say. Now, obviously, we spoke recently. What award show was it they were talking at where they were like, hey, you don't have to lay people off. Thanks.
It was the MTV Music Video Awards.
I don't think that was. I think you're wrong.
It was either that or Nickelodeon Kids' Choice.
Maybe it was Kids' Choice. Well, here at another award show, this was the Game Developers' Choice Awards. So pretty close, kind of like the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice, but the Game Developers' Choice Awards.
Yeah. I believe that. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Oh, that's the one.
That's the one. I get the 2 of them mixed up because they both give away kaleidoscopes that look like blimps.
That's it. Michael Dowse, the publishing director for Larian, was talking about the layoffs and said they're an avoidable fuck up. That's all they really are. That's why you see one after the other. It's because these companies are going, well, finally, now we can too. We've wanted to do it for ages. Everyone else is. So why don't we? And that's really kind of sick. It's just like, you can just go out and say things like that.
Here's the thing. Privately owned companies can do well.
Yeah.
Can do exceedingly well. And can make more ethical decisions.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they're ethical.
Sure.
But it's easier for companies to make more ethical decisions when their value is based on the products that they make and not the imaginary value of their imaginary pieces of paper that say how much they could potentially be worth if their products come out and do very well.
Yeah.
You are not beholden to as many people.
Right. They said none of these companies are at risk of going bankrupt. They're just at risk of pissing off the shareholders. And that's fine. That's how they work. The function of a public company is to create growth for its shareholders. It's not to make a happy climate for its employees.
That's right.
And in contrast of the thing that we were just talking about, it's funny because they're kind of saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Just from two very different perspectives on it. They both agree that the purpose of this company is not to make people happy, and it is just to make growth for the shareholders. But one person is like, because that's business, am I right?
Am
and
I
the
right?
other person is like, business is really fucked up, am I right?
Yeah. It's the point of view and the context is wild because they're fundamentally agreeing. It's just one guy is profiting off of that.
Yeah.
And is just being a little stinker about it.
Yeah.
He's just a little stinker.
He's just like, I mean, it's hard not to take advantage when you can.
Yeah. I mean, you know what I mean? Anyway.
You know what I mean?
Anyway, cover your drinks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cover your drinks.
Especially at a video game convention.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Any of these award shows, the Kids' Choice Awards.
Dude.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Very interesting. I think it's very interesting to see two companies making some of the biggest games out there right now, and being like, yeah, we all agree that this is what it is.
Yeah, it's interesting because you and I talk about it all the time. One of the things that we say all the time on this show is you do the most you can in the way that you are comfortable. Mm-hmm. The problem is a lot of people take that like we have to live under this system. So do what you can to live under the system.
Yeah.
Some people take that and they go, I will win the system.
Oh yeah.
I will win the system.
I will do anything.
Yeah. I will do it and I will win. And that's when you get shit like Embracer.
Yeah.
But hey,
yeah,
there's other stuff going on in video games. There was a big email from Sarah Bond. That said multiple interesting things.
Yeah.
A company-wide email that went to everybody at Xbox. Mm-hmm. One of the things that was very interesting that I caught was that they are starting a dedicated team for games preservation, which is very interesting.
That is very interesting.
Sarah Bond was saying like, hey, we need to make sure that we're building our strong history of delivering backwards compatibility to our players, and we remain committed to bringing forward the amazing library of Xbox games for future generations of players to enjoy. I think this is I think Microsoft's approach to backwards compatibility is maybe the best corporate version of games preservation that we've seen, other than like Steam games are usually just up on Steam forever.
Yeah.
But the idea that you can throw a Ninja Gaiden disc from your Xbox into your Xbox Series and it goes, cool, you bought Ninja Gaiden. Here's Ninja Gaiden at 4K.
Yeah.
Here's Ninja Gaiden the original way if you want to play it the original way. Coming from a corporate standpoint, I think they have one of the best programs for preservation.
Yeah, I agree. And it's one of those things that it's like, you don't really think of it as a preservation effort until it's put in that context, but it is, and that's cool. So to see them opening an entire like dedicated division to games preservation is cool. It's like one of those things that's a little complicated because you're like, ooh, I mean, the people who are like, we got to preserve games are also the people who are creating these like games as a service that they pull out. So I'm like, yeah, I guess you have to preserve it because you're the ones who could potentially take it away.
Yeah.
What does it mean when you say preserve it?
Right.
What does that mean?
Right. And it's easy for classic games to say what it means. It's been easy, I think, right up until maybe this generation of hardware, console-wise, it's been easy to say what it means to preserve these games.
Right.
Because before this, games preservation is really like, it was Halo servers and things like that, which are still huge.
Yeah.
But it's not to the extent of these live service games that we talked about last week. These companies may be legally forced in the future to offer a minimum level of service in perpetuity for people who own these games.
Fingers crossed.
So if that becomes a thing, obviously, from a business perspective, having a unit, a division that's already set up to make sure those games run just makes good sense.
Absolutely.
And that's an example of sort of common sense consumer laws and policies interacting with business in a decent way. Obviously, the best way to preserve games here on the day of the death of the Wii U and 3DS online is just to fucking steal them.
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft. You could steal Minecraft too.
Yeah. In Minecraft.
In Minecraft.
Yeah.
Somebody made on a Minecraft server, I don't know if you saw this, but they made on a Minecraft server a little guy, a little computer out of redstone that you can get on.
Yeah.
And you can pirate old versions of Minecraft right within Minecraft.
Perfect.
He made like a little Java engine.
Yeah.
And it opens up original versions of Minecraft in Minecraft.
There you go. Stealing Minecraft in Minecraft.
That's right. And then inside there, another little guy.
An even littler guy.
An even littler guy stealing even littler versions of Minecraft. And that has to make you wonder if we live in a simulation.
Well, are we just little guys in Minecraft?
Makes you think.
Steal games in the name of preservation.
That's right. We were talking about the sort of the efforts that are being made, particularly with the death of the Wii U Online.
Yeah.
Right now. Sorry to everyone who wanted to play Nintendo Land. Did that have an online? The Smash.
That's it.
The original Splatoon.
Yeah.
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 So there are people that have been making things like Insignia, like Pretendo, that keep these online networks open. And it will be interesting to see if the laws change about games preservation, what that will mean for businesses and those fan groups and how they interact. Because right now it's very much like a tense interaction.
Yeah. And the companies are like, it's not really worth shutting these down. But if the companies are moved into a place where they have to find a way to financially justify keeping these games around, then most likely they will start going after these like small preservation groups. Because they're like, well, if we have to preserve these games, you can't also have a copy of our game.
That's true. That is definitely a possibility. But I also think about the number of official like emulation collections that get released on console that license open source emulators.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at like things like the PlayStation Classic, that little PlayStation that came out, a lot of that code was based on like EPSXE code. And I believe that they actually licensed it from the developers. So I think there's a future in which some of these fan projects could be potentially made more official if these laws go through. But I also would imagine that if these laws go through, it will be years from now and it will only encompass games that obviously were made after that law.
Yeah.
So it's not like Pretendo is going to go away if you want to play.
Yeah, and I'm not terribly concerned, I guess, about the like games preservation companies. Like, yes, as people, as individuals that are working on this, but like at the end of the day, it should be the responsibility of these larger companies to preserve their own game. There actually shouldn't have to be like organizations that are putting together all of this work, because a lot of it they're doing volunteer based. You know, these are not people that are making money off of this because legally they can't. Yeah. So like, people shouldn't have to be volunteering their time.
Except for
to build
Yuzu,
these
am I right, Yuzu team? Am I right, Yuzu team? Did you get that bag? You got that bag.
People should not have to be volunteering their time to put together all of these preservation efforts for these massive companies' products that they made.
Yeah.
These companies should preserve their games that you paid for.
Right now, these are, they're called preservation efforts for a reason. There are things like this across all types of mediums. There are people who try to restore old, who try to restore old movies, find original prints of things. Yeah. Republish old games or comics or whatever it may be. Yeah. Even museums have entire divisions and teams devoted to the restoration and preservation of the paintings that they show.
Sometimes they're trying to make sure that like a specific kind of panda doesn't go away. Yeah. They got to preserve the panda.
Yeah. You gotta make sure that those pandas fuck. And that's not easy.
It's not.
Because they don't want to. If there's one thing we know about pandas, they'd rather not.
And really, we'd like to respect that.
We have to, except that we can't.
I know.
Because of the pandas.
Right.
Another thing that was brought up in that email by Sarah Bond is the reaffirmation of Xbox's commitment to quality hardware going forward.
Not just that, but that they're working on the next generation Xbox.
That's
now,
right.
Anthony and I joke on this show all the time that there's nothing Microsoft wants less than to keep making consoles. So this was surprising to me to see, because it wasn't just like and someday there'll be another Xbox. In this article, it says that they are full speed ahead on the next generation hardware, focusing on delivering the biggest technological leap ever in a generation, which, is all like that corporate speak of we're going to do the most impressive, best thing anyone's ever done.
But also by definition, yes, a next generation console, especially if it was the first to come out, would be the biggest tech jump in a generation. Like, that's the other thing about emails like this, where it's just like, sure.
I think what they mean is it would be the biggest gap between two generations.
Sure.
They would say that like, Xbox One to Xbox Series X would be a smaller difference between those two consoles than Series XS to whatever this is.
Sure.
That's what she's saying.
Okay. I mean, sure. I don't believe it, but sure.
I don't know. I don't have any reason not to.
One time, we were all playing games that were flat little guys made of 16 pixels.
Yeah.
And then the next week, everybody was playing Tekken. So there was a pretty big jump.
There have been some pretty big
You know what I mean?
jumps.
This is a pretty big jump.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what they're going to do. We're going to be years and years from this. This is not coming anytime soon.
No.
So like, who knows what technology is going to be like by then?
Sure. Could be
A little swan dive into my television and play a game. I don't know.
That's right, Unky Scrooge style.
Got like, 6 years? Could probably do that by then.
Oh, we got less than 6 years
For a new Xbox?
until the next console. We got to remember that we lost 2 years in the time skip, and companies as we heard from Lars Saberman, is companies don't think about that. They think about line go up. And
What do you think? How many years do you think?
3 or 4 max. Wow. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, if even that. I mean, the only thing that'll slow it down, that'll keep this generation maybe chugging for another few years, is this PS5 Pro. But everything that I've heard so far about the PS5 Pro, everything that I've read, lets me know that maybe that PS5 Pro is going to have like 3 years max.
Yeah.
So I think we're maybe like 3 years out from next gen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wild. Yeah, we really did lose a couple years.
If you think about it,
I won't. I will not.
The Switch 2.
Don't ask me to think
Okay.
about anything.
I won't. The Switch 2 coming.
Yeah. But the Switch came out so long ago.
Yeah.
Switch came out longer ago than the Xbox.
Yeah, only a couple years.
Alex, what year did the Switch come out versus the Xbox Series X and S?
The Switch came out in 2017. It launched in March with Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And then
2020?
2020.
That's 3 years. That's
3
significant.
years.
That's a big difference. So yeah, 3 more years
3
then?
more years.
All right.
3 more years. And we're all playing. Look. Lately, Microsoft has been taking a lot of hits in the press about their commitment to hardware and there have been so many headlines recently that are like, Xbox is failing. Everything is doing horribly. Is Xbox dead? Is Xbox over? And no, they're doing fine.
Interesting.
They are doing fine. They purchased a lot of studios over the last 3-4 years.
Yeah.
That it will take them time to make the money back from those investments. But like, that's a spending period in business.
Yeah.
People are really worried. The average end user, the average gamer, the average enthusiast is worried because of, oh no, not as many strong exclusives this generation. Oh no, they aren't selling as much as the PlayStation this generation. That sort of stuff. That's all end user stuff. Unky Phil.
Sitting here on the Game Pass mountain.
Yeah, that's the thing. Phil and Sarah do not want you to buy hardware.
See, this is where we come back to.
This is what we come back to. I think that this email from Sarah Bond is reaffirming their commitment to hardware for a few reasons. Number one, because they're taking a bath in the press right now. And number two, because Xbox has a lot of hardware engineers, right?
Yeah.
They have an entire division that makes hardware.
Yeah.
And if you're looking to not make hardware in the next 5 to 10 years, you don't want to let those people know like, oh, we're ditching you.
Yeah, 100%.
You want them to think like, and you want everybody,
keep buying.
Investors, everyone, the people inside. You don't want the talent drain that comes along with people finding out you're going to shut down their division in a couple years.
No.
I don't think they want to sell any more hardware. I think they want their streaming to be as good as possible. They want to sell you games on a PC. They want to sell you games on like a Steam Deck or whatever other handheld that other people make. And they want, when you turn on your TV, they want there to be an Xbox app that you can download and play with their controller.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what they want.
Which, like, I'm not against. I
don't even have an Xbox. I mean, I have an Xbox One X.
Oh.
But
okay.
I don't have this. You don't have the
Series X.
I don't have a Series X. I play Xbox games on my PC. I use Game Pass. Now, is Game Pass eventually going to bottom out the entire industry?
Yeah.
And become a terrible service for the end user and also for developers? Yes.
Yeah. But right now.
But that's like 5 years away. That's like 5 years from now.
I use my Xbox every day. It's my primary console.
Yeah.
I love it. I love my Xbox.
You also use it, like you use it as your media box and stuff like that too.
Absolutely. But I use it for Game Pass. I use my PC for Game Pass. But like if I'm going to sit down and play a game by myself, not on stream, it's almost always my Xbox.
Yeah. But listen, hey, Don Matrick, if you're out there in Marin County sitting on your millions, you did it, man. You did it. Somebody's using their Xbox as their home theater. You did it, Don Matrick. And all it cost was an entire generation of hardware.
I don't know. I always have.
How are your Connectimals doing? Are your Connectimals still okay?
Yeah, they're doing great.
Good.
Don't worry.
Good.
Don't worry.
You did it, Don.
Yeah.
You did it, Don Matrick.
Yeah, you were talking a little bit about a couple of laws, a couple of bills that we were talking about last week. Those were specifically about, games preservation and things like that.
Sure.
There's some other legal news.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Legally.
Fortunately.
Yeah, I got my MBA on the street.
And I passed the bar in the state of Virginia. So we're qualified to tell you about this potential bipartisan bill for online privacy. Now, it has been over a solid decade trying to push through any kind of laws for internet privacy in America. And for the fucking life of us, we cannot get our shit together.
Yeah, all we did was repeal net neutrality in that time. All we did was actually make other parts of the internet worse.
And they were like, if we repeal net neutrality, then we'll get to put in the privacy bills. And then they never did because nobody could agree on it. Because either you would have conservatives pushing forward things that were horrible for users, horrible for the actual people of the internet, or you would have weak ass bills that don't get through, or you would have something that the Republicans strike down. Nobody could agree on anything.
Yeah, it's a difference in philosophy of the two parties right now, where the Democrats are for incremental passage of laws that are extremely imperfect, but move you a little bit forward. And Republicans are about, if the law doesn't perfectly encapsulate everything exactly the way it should be, simply repeal it and don't govern.
Right.
And both of these philosophies are not great for us.
I tend to think of the parties as like Republicans would like to give guns to babies. And Democrats would like to do nothing. At all.
Sure.
And let them give the guns to babies.
Well, we would like to pass a law that says the way you hand a baby a gun has to be polite. You know what I mean? And we'll start from there.
We're really getting into the semantics about how you give the babies the guns.
Yeah, we'll start from there.
And then someday we'll get around to the fact that we also don't really like that you're giving the guns to babies.
Like, can you give a baby a gun if you have business ties to that baby?
Which is the sequel book to If You Give a Moose a Muffin.
That's right. And it was adapted into The Boss Baby Back in Action on Netflix. So if you haven't watched that, it's all about how does the Boss Baby get his gun? How does the Boss Baby get his first gun? And his dad, who was played by Jimmy Kimmel in the movies, but is now played by a friend of the show, David W. Collins, is like, well, we got to give you this gun. You're a baby.
Right.
And the Boss Baby's like, I don't see many returns on that, which is odd because the Boss Baby is Alec Baldwin, who loves to hold a gun.
I can't believe it came around to that.
Now,
you come here. You scoot that chair closer to me, where your chair goes, because you moved it into place before the show, and then you moved it out of place somehow during the show. Please put it back.
I'm doing the thing that Dagger does when you reach out to him.
Anyways, so currently a tentative deal is expected to broker as a compromise between Democrats and Republicans, saying to preempt state data protection laws and create a mechanism to let individuals sue companies for violating their privacy, which would be dope. You should be able to sue a company on the internet, Meta, for violating your privacy.
Yeah, the fact that Cambridge Analytica happened in the United States.
Yeah.
Cambridge Analytica happened, still happens, continues to happen.
Yeah.
They sit in front of the government on TV at one of those little desks where they're surrounded by all the people, everybody in the government, like that part at the end of The Rise of Skywalker when all the weird zombies, other Palpatines, wizards, ghosts are all standing there going like, yeah, Palpatine, get on your weird strobe light arm and suck the power out of your granddaughter.
I tend to think of them as Sith Force ghosts.
Yeah, same.
That's kind of what I just decided they were.
I think that I like to think of it as Jedi become Force ghosts because they let go of the material.
Yeah.
Whereas the Sith are tied to their bodies like zombies. And so they're not allowed to be Force ghosts.
Cool.
That's the way I like to think of it.
And that's where it gets into the complicated nature of Anakin can become a Force ghost because he has
because
like
his redemption at the end. It's sort of like a Mormon way, where as long as you really believe it on your deathbed, you're forgiven.
Which is like not my belief. Like I don't think Anakin was actually redeemed in any way, and I don't think there was any way he could have been. And especially like one effort to save his own son and do really nothing for the rest of the galaxy. But he was like, but
what about
murdering and blowing up planets?
Sure, but what about Ben Solo get a little kiss? He's okay now? Yeah, he's all right because he get a little kiss.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. They sit in front of these large Palpatines and they say, what'd you do? Did you do where we heard that you did bad? And then the guy,
I've lost the analogy of who's who.
And then the guy from the company who's sitting in front of the government, all the Palpatines,
Zuckerberg?
Sure, it could be a Zuckerberg, is sitting in front of them and they go, we didn't think we did any bad, and the laws did not specifically say we did a bad, and so we probably did, and will be better in the future.
So
and all
the Palpatine the judge?
Yeah, and all the Palpatines go, well, as long as you promise to do better in the future, blah. But then it turns out, when they leave, they were working with the Palpatines all along. Like Anthony? A Dooku situation.
Anthony, do you hear that siren?
That's the alarm siren.
That's the analogy police.
Now listen.
They're coming to take you away.
Yeah.
For losing the plot.
No, you lost the plot. I'm still in it. Here's the thing. Yeah.
You said you didn't know which one was Palpatine.
No, I do know which one. They're all Palpatines. That's the thing. He pulls off his mask. He's a Palpatine.
But we both just decided that all the people in the crowd were not all Palpatines.
No, all the government is Palpatines. They're sitting in front of all the Palpatines on Exegol.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Okay. So the government, like the House and the Senate, are all like the Palpatines in tubes.
Yeah.
All of the weird little fucked up like baby Snokes.
No. They're the ones that were sitting in the bleachers. Do you remember?
Then those aren't Palpatines. We were talking about
that's what I'm saying.
That's the equivalent of the Sith Force ghosts.
Yeah.
They're not Palpatines.
Whatever they are, but they're all basically Palpatines. They're all bad little guys. They're all like bleh.
Okay.
They're all bad little guys. And they're like, bleh.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And so they're like, bleh.
They're the Sith Force ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and you sit in front of them in your Cambridge Analytica and you go, and they're like the trade federations, the Nemoidians, and they're sitting in front of them. And they're like, we simply did not know that it was bad. And so now that we know that it's bad, we won't do it anymore because it's bad.
Yeah.
But then you find out they were all working together.
Okay.
They knew it was bad, dude.
Yeah.
They knew it was bad because they're all insider trading.
Yeah.
That's what they knew.
They're all Palpatine.
Because they're all Palpatines, dude. Think about it.
And when you have somebody you think is a Rey Skywalker, they're really just a Palpatine.
They're just a Palpatine.
Hey, you can call yourself Skywalker, but at the end of the day, my friend, you're a Palpatine.
You're a Palpatine. Doesn't matter where you bury that saber.
Mr. Biden. Yeah, I've decided Joe Biden is Rey.
Sort of an ingenue.
Yeah.
Sort of an innocent girl next door type.
Yeah, down to kiss a dictator.
Yeah. Oh, he's down to kiss a dictator.
He's down to kiss a dictator. I'm kind of not wrong on
And
this.
do you know what else? They both like a little snack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They both like a little snack.
Yeah.
Ray's got her inflatable bread.
Uh-huh.
She loves an inflatable bread.
Yeah. What does Joe Biden love?
A little ice cream.
I don't think that you're thinking of Joe Biden with the ice cream.
No, it's Joe Biden. Joe Biden loves ice cream. That's actually real.
I thought that was Clinton.
No. Clinton loves
balloons.
Clinton loves affairs.
Also true.
Clinton loves to fuck.
Yeah. And balloons.
Well, that's a fetish.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've looked it up.
Yeah.
That's a fetish.
Yeah, no, I'm familiar.
Yeah, the fucking
I've
and the
had
balloons.
people ask me to, yeah.
Joe Biden loves ice cream and a nap.
Joe Biden loves ice cream.
Yeah, you didn't know this?
Okay.
Every state he goes to, he's like, where's the best ice cream? And they do like a whole media thing where he eats ice cream. He's always like, oh, it's the best ice cream in Delaware. Great.
I was wondering what he was doing instead of serving and protecting the people.
That's not his job. He's in the government.
He's a Palpatine.
He's a Palpatine.
It's not his job. He's a Palpatine.
Bleh.
Yeah.
Bleh.
Jelly PV said Clinton plays in the Jizz band. Win.
He's a jizz whaler.
You win. Yeah.
Is he like a Max Rebo, do you think? I think Max Rebo's the most charismatic of them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Figuring Dan is like the front man.
You think Bill Clinton's pretty charismatic?
That was his whole thing.
Yeah.
Clinton's whole thing
I'm
was
saying,
his
does
charisma.
it work on you? Yeah.
I don't know. I was a child, but he does like to use his charisma on young people. Though.
He does. That wouldn't stop him.
Now, Figuring Dan is the front man of Figuring Dan and the Modal Nodes, as we all know.
Of course.
The most famous jizz band on Tatooine.
Uh-huh.
But I think
Yeah.
Max Rebo.
Uh-huh.
Max Rebo is really the star of that band.
Yeah, I think so.
You know what I mean? It's like
the only
how,
name most people are going to know.
Yeah, it's like how in that thing
You all know the name Max Rebo, right?
Yeah. It's like the thing where in that thing you do where the cool one is Tom Everett Scott, Shades.
Yeah. Right.
But Shades isn't the front man.
Yeah.
Billy Crudup is the front man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of them's the
Pete Wentz.
It's Pete Wentz.
It's Pete Wentz.
Pete Wentz was
Pete Wentz
not,
is not the singer of Fall Out Boy.
He's not the singer of Fall Out Boy.
That's Patrick Stump. But everybody knows Pete Wentz.
Can we get that beautiful boy up on screen, please?
Yeah. So this is your Pete Wentz and also your Bill Clinton. Does that make sense?
That's a Wentz Clinton type.
Does that make sense?
On the Wentz Clinton
Are you
continuum.
following?
You know? And then Figuring Dan is just this guy.
Yeah.
He looks exactly like the rest of the modal nodes.
Right. Yeah.
What are you gonna do with that?
What are you going to do with that?
What are you gonna do with that?
What are you going to do with Patrick Stump?
So anyway, this is a bipartisan bill that is supposed to.
I mean, let's see him.
Let's see Figuring Dan. Sure.
Yeah.
This is a bipartisan bill that is supposed to help us, the average person, with privacy on the internet. What are some of the things in this bill, though? Like, what do they want to do? Because it's one thing to say, like, we want to protect privacy.
Right.
That's such a cool thing to say, especially now that everyone is aware of their data being the product on the internet, including up to and including grandparents understand it now. It used to be that wasn't the way, but now even my mom knows, like, she'll be like, hey, how do I figure out whether a thing is using my location again?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Mom, it doesn't matter. You're just at home getting high. They know you're at home getting high.
And they don't care.
They don't care about it. You don't have to worry about it. They're not using your... It's okay. Hit settings.
Yeah.
You know, when your mom calls and she's only in the bottom half of the frame of the FaceTime?
Yeah.
And you can just see her eyes and her hair.
Of course.
And she's like, how do I turn off location services?
And you're like, why?
Why? You can't even look into a camera. You've had cameras your whole life.
Yeah.
Cameras aren't new.
No.
Not only that.
But you're not holding them on yourself. You were holding them on other people.
Sure. But
and they would never go to that either.
But you can tell. You can tell when you can tell because it shows you your face.
Do you think it's because we're vain and we're looking at ourselves and they're looking at us?
I think it's because she's trying to hide from the government. She thinks that the camera is location services.
Nice.
So she's like, she's doing one of these. She's doing this. She's doing, hey, how do I turn location services off?
And you're like, I couldn't hear the last part of the sentence.
Don't call me by my name. Don't call me mom.
My name, Mom.
Yeah.
Mom is my name.
They'll know.
No, it's me, Mom. So basically, everything about this bill right now is really, really limited. There isn't actually a ton of information as to what's in it. What they say is we're going to allow individuals to sue these companies for not being safe with your privacy. And that's like a main point of the bill, basically. But we only have seen previous versions that did get shot down. It's literally just gone through where it was like, here's a version that got shot down by Democrats. And then here's a version that got shot down Republicans. And now they're telling us, all we know is that the new version of the bill, supposedly, they are like saying it is guaranteed to pass through. They are guaranteed that everybody on both sides is going to fucking love it.
So this bill does nothing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
We're curious to see. There isn't, like I said, a ton of information right now, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. The idea of being able to sue a company for mishandling your privacy on the internet does sound like a good thing.
Listen, the idea of being able...
But I feel like Republicans are going to hate that.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of being able to sue a company, period, in the United States, if you're not another company, it sounds great.
But Republicans love companies, so I don't imagine that it's actually going to be anything that would be negative for companies, which means it's not going to be anything that's positive for individuals.
No, I can't imagine so. The idea of going to court against a company and getting anything out of it is so wild to me. It's so wild to me. And the idea that Republicans would allow when they don't even understand, when half of them don't understand how the internet works and the other half of them do and think it's fine.
Right.
And actually think it should go in the other direction. You know, half the government is the old guy who was like, how come TikTok keeps showing me these half naked women that I'm into?
Yeah.
And then the other half are like, now, what is a Finsta?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, really into the semantics of it all.
Right. Like, what is a Finsta? And like, I don't know if you remember that hearing, but it was ridiculous.
I do.
Where it was just Mark Zuckerberg, like, just going, well, that has nothing to do with what a Finsta is.
We don't make that.
We don't do that.
That's an individual user's choice. That doesn't matter. You
are not letting me define the word to you. And so we are using two different terms, but using the same word for it. I know that Finsta just means another account a person has.
Right.
And you think it is an underground sex trade?
Hey, do you guys have Finstas? Let us know.
Yeah, do you have a Finsta? Let us know and let us know what your Finsta is.
Well, you don't have to say what it is.
No, you
can.
You should, though.
You can. You don't have to.
You
but
do.
I just want to know. Do you have a Finsta and why? That's what I want. What'd you make it for?
I've thought about it.
Oh, I've got one.
I don't know your Finsta?
No. I'm not active on it. I don't post. A lot of people have Finstas where they're like, here's where I post my hot takes. I don't post on a Finsta. Nobody knows my Finsta. Not one person. Genuinely not one person. Not one single person. Think of all the people that you know in my life. Not one person. Kaylee doesn't even know. I don't use it. I don't post. But I have it for when I want to watch someone's story, so I don't want to know that I watched their stories.
Yeah.
Or whatever else comes up. You know?
Yeah, I have. I do have accounts from when I was doing like a lot of like reporting and a lot of video stuff, because it was like, oh man, this week I've got to watch a lot of stuff about this, and it's gonna fuck my entire algorithm. Yeah.
I also I made it to report the accounts of children that are under 13 in my family to get them taken off social media. I also use it for that. I regularly go through and I report children's accounts for being too young on Instagram.
Good.
I'm like, you shouldn't be here.
Good.
And the platform should do something about it. And you know what they never do? Anything about it.
Wolf of Herkimer in the live studio audience says, I barely use my normal account. It's mostly to look up photos of stray kids, parentheses, a music group. I am not looking at children.
But that's what the government is convinced that Finstas are for.
Dude, if you were sitting in front of the Palpatines right now, Wolf of Herkimer,
they'd have you.
Like, tell us about the stray kids. Yeah. You shouldn't be looking at them, and we should turn them to the dark side.
Yeah. Yeah, they'd have you right there.
Do it.
Anyways, if you're watching on YouTube later, let us know in the comments if you have a Finsta and what you made it for / what you use it for. And also like the video.
No, I thought when you said that you had a Finsta, I thought that there was the real Saige account.
No.
And I was like, what the fuck, man?
No. No.
No, if you just have one because it's like, I'm not going to fuck my own algorithm.
Correct.
That's
what
totally
I have.
fine.
I have that on Instagram and on Twitter, but I've never posted on a Finsta. A lot of people have those secondary Twitter accounts and I don't really get it because they also don't really hide them. They still want people to follow them on them, but it's it's their shit posting account. And I'm like, my main account is my shit posting account. So I actually don't understand.
Yeah. I actually wield my account like a blunt instrument.
Right.
That literally for what I do for a living, genuinely only harms me.
Right.
I post so much Garfield.
Yeah. And there's all these people too, where I think they're going to be using it because they're like streamers that want to have hot takes, but then they like retweet it on their main account. So I'm like, you can't even say anything you couldn't say on your main account. And I'm a bitch all the time. So
that's the thing is if you have an alt account and then you're using it to like, I don't know, you're like, but this take is so good that I have to share it. Well, there's no reason to have the alt account. Most of these people that have alt accounts that are like influencers, streamers, whatever.
They're actually just building up a backup account in case they get banned. Bing,
yes.
Bing.
Because here's the deal. A lot of the people that are big in those spaces get famous based on sharing their terrible opinions and doubling down.
Yeah.
That's just what they do.
Right.
It's the discourse.
Yeah. Here's my thought. If you're going to say something, say it with your fucking chest. And if you're not, maybe it doesn't have to go on the internet.
Like
maybe some thoughts are allowed to be inside thoughts.
Like the guy in Total Recall? Quaid.
Yeah.
Quaid.
Yeah, like that. Say it like that or don't say anything.
Is that what they mean when they say it with your chest?
Yeah.
Quaid.
Yeah. It's the alien popping out of the chest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say it like that or don't say it at all.
Yeah. Say it with a little alien that has taken refuge in your chest to run a revolution. Or keep your mouth shut. Quaid.
Anyways,
I feel
they
really
basically
good about getting that reference.
What, Alex?
I feel really, really good about getting that reference.
Hell yeah.
I am shocked that you get that reference.
Yeah,
we're proud of you.
I watched Total Recall, and for some reason, that made me feel really affirmed in my masculinity.
That's great.
See, this is why.
Yeah.
This is why we all act like this.
This is boyhood.
This genuinely is.
Yeah.
Where it was like, I know a thing, and then the other guy goes, I also know a thing.
Is that because men don't know how to form actual emotional connections?
Yes.
And they only know how to connect over movies?
Correct.
Yeah, like anytime you've ever met anyone I've ever dated, you've been like, how many old movies do you know? And they're like, I know a lot of old movies. And you're like, okay.
Okay.
I like them.
They seem all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
They seem all right. They know the proper amount of old movies.
Yeah. That is how you've had every interaction with anyone you've ever met that I dated.
Yeah. Well,
So far, so good.
you also, you dated a lot of people that are in like production and things.
Yeah, look, I'm a sucker for a Criterion boy, and I wish I wasn't.
That's the thing is like, I would talk to them about other stuff, but it immediately pops up. Yeah.
But no, that's fair.
No, we all knew. Listen, me and all your ex-boyfriends have a group chat, and we were talking about the Criterion flash sale last week.
God damn it. That sounds
You
right.
can get a lot of good stuff when they do those flash sales.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, come back to discs, Saige. Come back to discs.
I'm good.
Don't you miss commentary tracks and behind the scenes looks?
No. I really don't. Every once in a while, a DVD menu would have like a game you could play on it. You remember
Love
those?
that shit.
That was
Love
fun.
that shit.
Loved a game, but I
Yeah.
don't like a commentary track.
I don't like most commentary tracks. I think there are a few that are really good.
Yeah.
I think they used to be really good.
Yeah.
I learned a lot of production stuff just from watching like behind the scenes stuff on
Wow.
DVDs. Because I went to school in Florida. They don't teach you anything.
Yeah.
You know.
The internet's been around since I was in middle school.
Yeah, but that kind of stuff doesn't pop up on the internet as much anymore. Like you have people who like on YouTube will be like, this is how we do this.
Yeah.
And you get like the class stuff.
Right.
But there's something about like the behind the scenes on a set of a movie where you see how like they're all
I feel like
working.
we're getting back into a phase of doing that.
Yeah.
Like I obsessively talk about all the behind the scenes from the Barbie movie.
Yeah.
I love it. God, anyways, okay, we have to find back to the plot in some way. Basically, initially, Punch Bowl Media was the one who shared this, and they said the proposal would set a national data privacy standard, replacing assorted state standards. So as opposed to it being like, hey, every state's figuring this out on their fucking own, they're trying to set a national standard. Companies would face limits on what data they can collect and use. Another provision would allow individuals to sue bad actors for violating their privacy rights. I don't anticipate that being very useful for you in any way because the definition will probably be loose enough that no company will ever face consequences.
No.
And if they even could, you wouldn't be able to afford to get there.
But if this is going to, here's the thing. If this is going to pass,
Yeah.
then and it's going to be a national level thing.
Yeah.
then I would imagine that at least here in California and in some of the other states that have more protective privacy laws for the internet, we would be saying, our reps would be saying, in order for this to be a national law, it needs to be at least as good as what we have here.
Yes.
And what I will say about that is it makes it good for California when California wants to, as the state, sue one of these internet companies. So an individual, who knows?
Yeah.
But if this trickles down what we have in California in terms of like, you don't have to have cookies tracking you. If we want to sue a company as the state, we can and we will. Yeah. That means that could be good.
Could be good. The last thing is there would also be new data security standards to hold companies accountable if data is hacked or stolen. So curious to see how that goes. Supposedly there's supposed to be more information on that next week as the bill comes together.
Dope.
And then we'll see what happens. But supposedly they are so confident that everybody's gonna love it.
That I will get news about that passing, because now that the Meverse is gone, I don't know where I get my news.
I know.
If it's not in the Splatoon lobby, I don't know where to get my news.
I was just waiting. I would drive around in my car and wait for a connection on PictoChat and hope that somebody knew what was going on.
Hey, everyone, if we let you know like what conventions and stuff we're going to be at this year, will you bring your DSs? Can we try to do Street Pass? Will people try to bring
Is PictoChat still up on the 3DS? Because I know the 3DS Online's going down, so then no, right? PictoChat's going with it.
There, I think, is an open source replacement for PictoChat.
Because I've got my 3DS.
Yeah, but Street Pass will still work.
What was Street Pass?
Street Pass is where, like, when you literally walk by somebody who has a DS, you get to meet them, you get to rate their me, and you get like little puzzle pieces and bonus points and stuff.
Shit, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll bring my 3DS to the next con. Where are we going? Gen Con?
Street Pass, baby.
Comic-Con this year? I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing Comic-Con. I'm afraid.
Comic-Con.
I'm afraid of Comic-Con.
Comic-Con's a lot.
Comic-Con's a lot.
And you get increasingly little out of it.
Yeah.
That's all.
And there's too many people in the city.
There's too many people in the city. There's too many people in the city. There's too many people in the city. Too many people in the city. Hey, everyone.
Yeah. We got like time for like, I don't know, one more thing?
I'm going to do one more thing.
Yeah.
Apparently, Apple, out of the goodness of their hearts, as usual, whenever Apple does something like this, it's out of the goodness of their hearts. Like when they gave us USB-C.
Yeah.
Do you remember when they created USB-C and they gave it to us as a treat?
As a treat, as a gift.
Because they decided now was the time and it had nothing to do with the European Union telling them it was the time.
Now, mind you, I still have to set my Apple Watch on something and my headphones are still lightning, but yeah.
Yes. Because you're just not ready for that yet. And Apple will let you know when you're ready. Apple will tell you when it's time.
Yeah.
Well, Apple has lifted the App Store ban on game emulators.
Exciting.
In an update published on Friday, the company announced that game emulators will be allowed globally as well as downloadable games. However, developers are responsible for all software offered, including that such software complies with our guidelines and all applicable laws. Now, that's them, protecting themselves. That's them saying, hey, Nintendo, if people start sharing Mario ROMs, that's not us. But it also is protective enough language where if they decide that an app is just like, this emulator is emulating too much.
Emulating a little too well.
You're emulating too much too well.
Yeah.
We think you got to go. Will also mean that it will probably be easy for companies, rights holders, IP holders to say, hey, we do sort of know that most people are just playing our protected stuff on this.
Yeah. However, DS emulators on my phone would be so good, or on my iPad.
Oh, they're great. They're great. I've had AltStore installed for like a long time.
Oh.
The DS emulator on the iPhone is perfect. You can
Because I'm like, a DS emulator on PC, really not very fun.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's not very fun to play DS games on PC.
No, handheld games need to be handheld.
But like,
some DS games, like, if you're playing, like, I think the best version of Ocarina of Time is on the 3DS. So like you could play that and that's pretty good.
I just want Nintendogs on my phone.
Yeah.
I just want Nintendogs on my phone more than anything.
Sure. The thing about this though, even when this happens, there's if you follow emulators a bit, there is something called JIT, just in time, just in time recompilation.
That's
basically,
not to be confused for Jizz, the band.
Yeah,
that
Jizz
Bill
is
Clinton's in.
Jizz is the style of music.
Yeah.
That Bill Clinton wails at.
Yeah.
JIT is just in time compilation. What that does is it takes code and recompiles it on the fly as it's running.
Yeah.
This is something that Apple does not let people use in their apps. Simply compiling code on the fly on a user's phone, Apple is like, no, we can do that. No one else can do that.
Yeah.
This is problematic for more recent emulators, which I also think is kind of a good legal protection for Apple here.
Yeah.
Because you can run everything up through, I don't know, probably like Dreamcast without just-in-time compiling. Yeah. But if you want something more modern, like say you were really wondering how a Switch emulator runs on an iPhone. Yeah. Or you were really wondering how, a PS3 emulator runs on an iPhone. Yeah. You're probably not going to know because you're going to need just-in-time compilation in order to make that
fine.
run. It is and it isn't. I'm kind of like, let me do it. Let's go.
I mean, sure. Would I love it? But also like, I get it, Yeah. It's both. It's like, I get it. I'm not like, how dare you? I'm so surprised that you're not allowing this. That's what I mean.
Just-in-time compilation, the lack of it is also the thing that keeps people from like running Windows on an iPad and stuff like that. So it's security reasons. It really is. But it's also business reasons.
Yeah. Are you telling me Apple is prioritizing business?
No, I would never.
Or money?
No, you're not ready for just-in-time compiling yet.
Oh.
You just got USB-C.
Yeah.
You gotta wait.
Of my devices.
Yeah, on some of your devices. Yeah. We don't want to listen. If we
Why can't I plug in my Apple Watch?
No.
Why can't I plug it in? Why do I have to have the?
You can plug in your mouse if you flip it over and make it play dead.
Like a little cockroach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can just like turtle it.
I think they finally fixed that.
They did finally fix it after years and years of defending it.
But you know what sucks?
That mouse.
I love the Apple mouse.
No, the Apple mouse is great.
I love the Apple mouse. I love the Apple trackpad. I love them. I love them so much.
Yeah. I initially was not a trackpad guy, but now that it's been years of iPad, I'm just like, no, now I get it.
Yeah.
Plus I'm left-handed. So it's very easy for me to trackpad and mouse.
Yeah.
Which is just like,
I'm throwing it back to something that was in the chat a little bit ago.
Okay.
Alex said they never had a DS in any way, and they're so excited about it. Alex, you're going to fucking love DS games.
The DS is
You're going to lose your mind for DS games.
I did 1 or 2 summer camp-y things, and you weren't allowed to bring a phone, but you were allowed to bring a DS because you could play offline. And so people would have these DSs, and I never had a video game handheld console.
It's such an Alex console.
And I would just like stare over their shoulder. I would be so jealous. I ran out of books to read at summer camp, and everyone kept playing.
We got to get you a DS, dude.
Yeah, I would love that.
We got to get you a DS and trick it out. We got to do it because you will go nuts over the DS. New feature on the show is we get Alex a DS, and then once a week, Alex tells us about what he played on his DS.
I'm down.
I dig it.
A little DS book club.
Yeah. I'll bust back out my 3DS. I'll get in.
I don't have a DS right now. No.
Wow. But you have something that plays.
I have something that plays DS games. But if you're getting DSs,
Retroid. I'll play on the Retroid with you if you want.
Yeah, but if you're getting DSs, I want to get a DS.
Okay. Well, I'm saying we could get Alex a real DS and we could play on our Retroids.
Yeah.
That thing like a TikTok
But we can't street pass on those, I don't think.
You have like the video and then the gameplay underneath. It'll be too early, and then me playing on the DS.
Yeah.
I don't think I can street pass and stuff on an emulator. We got to figure that out.
All right, we're all getting DSs. Fuck it.
Hey, everybody, we're getting DSs.
Donate for DSs. Donate to buy the cast DSs. I don't need one.
1877 DSs for kids.
This goal back here, it says sugar breakfast. It's now buy everybody a used Nintendo 3DS goal. They're looking at eBay. They're like $100 a piece.
Yeah,
we need 2 of them.
I'll mod everybody's 3DS.
All right, I've got a 3DS. I just need you to mod it.
Yeah,
I'll get everybody the DSs. Meaning you guys get the DSs, understood?
Yeah. Do you understand what we're saying?
That's what that goal is now.
Do you get what we mean?
Okay.
Listen, it's almost time to go stare into the sun.
It is almost time to go stare into the sun. Don't forget, it's eclipse day. So if you want to venture outside and stare into the sun, you can do that. I know a few of our folks are in some of these really peak, what is it called again? What's the name of
the zone of totality.
Yeah, the zone of totality.
There's probably not really enough time. But I will say, if you live in a major city and you are near any like lens crafters or Warby Parkers or anywhere that does glasses, a lot of them are giving away eclipse glasses.
That's cool.
Yeah. So if you got time, run out. But it's probably you don't. Sorry.
But you might. I don't know.
But also, don't let anybody tell you.
It's in like an hour.
Don't let anybody tell you.
Here it's in an hour. And I know it's like we'll be able to see it from different places. So I don't know if other people will see it first or if it's just a time zones thing.
Here's
that
what
might
I'm
have
gonna
been
say.
not smart of me. I don't know.
And local libraries, says
There you
Alex.
go. You might be close to a library.
But also, don't let anybody tell you need to wear glasses to stare into the sun.
I'm going to tell you that.
All right.
Hey, Zephyr with the first DS down. Let's go.
That's a whole DS.
Hell yeah.
Dang, one whole DS.
We're doing it.
DS Book Club is real.
One down. Let's fucking go.
DS Book Club is real. We are going to thank everybody else that supported us during the show here in just a moment.
Yes.
But before we do that, Saige, what the fuck are you doing with your life?
God, good question. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Saige, and you can go on YouTube, youtube.com/Pixel Circus. You might be there already right now watching this. And you can watch our Hit Point Press, the Field Guide to Floral Dragons one shot.
Yeah.
We haven't played D&D here in a while. So if you want to go see us just play some good old D&D with good friends, check that out. It is up now. How about you, Anthony?
You can find me everywhere online at Carboni, except for here on Twitch, where I'm at Anthony Carboni. Twitch, you cowards, it's mine. Give it back to me. And I'll probably be online later this afternoon to play with those beautiful idiots in Final Fantasy VII.
Woo! All right, everybody. How about you, Alex?
Find me on the internet on Twitter at Alder_Mancy, and I'm also going to be back this Saturday with my queer horror D&D campaign. I'm very excited.
Woo!
Hooray.
Very exciting.
All right, let's thank everybody. Oh, wait.
That.
Let's thank everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
And that's it. No, we're going to go through and we're going to thank everyone who supported us on Twitch. But there's a bunch of ways that you can do that. Other than the ones we're going to list, you can join the Discord. It's free. You can go to patreon.com/Pixel Circus. There are free options. You can get a free trial. You can join as a free member and still get some goodies over there. Or you can support the show directly and get a bunch of extra content.
Yeah. If you want to, we love it when people join the Discord, when people share stories, when people tweet when we go live, when people share the show with a friend. You know, liking and subscribing if you're on that YouTube would be great and super helpful. We've seen a lot of growth on the YouTube lately, and that's majorly helpful to us.
Yeah.
And also, like, if you just see somebody across the street and they look kind of cool, just scream twitch.tv/Pixel Circus at them.
If we make a bunch of stickers that say you should be watching Pixel Circus with the link on it, will you give them to people? It's a new idea. Just popped into my brain.
If
I don't
we
know.
were a worm,
would you still love us?
Would you still love us?
Also, people seemed like they really enjoyed a little bit of like the comment responses from the previous video. So in the last one, we were asking people a few things, but the main one was, what was your first job?
Yeah.
And in the general consensus, we're seeing a lot of things, but looking for nostalgia, said my first job was working under the table as a summer janitor for my grade school, K through 8 for 2 or 3 summers from 13 to 15, I think.
They should have let you out from under that table. There's a whole school to clean.
Only cleaned under the tables.
Huh.
I don't feel like schools should be allowed to do that.
No,
I'm of the opinion that your school should not have been allowed to do that.
Honestly, I think America was founded on the division of schools and child labor, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I probably am.
Yeah, I don't know. And then Team Rocket Me said, I was 17-ish when I got my first job, which is a more acceptable age than 13. So my parents didn't allow me to work while in high school to focus on my grades. So I got a part-time work study job in college. I proceeded to have that job for all 4 years of college and full-time a couple years after. It was an all right data entry job. Gave me money to spend and later bills money.
There you go.
That seems like a much better path than I cleaned my entire school when I was 13 years old. I'm sorry you had to do that.
Yeah.
That's it. And I hope you got out from under that table.
Yeah, and then of course we have somebody here who said that they hunted python skulls for money in Florida. And
Sounds
you know,
about right.
that's at the age of 7. And I think I knew you. I think I was there.
Oh yeah.
If your name is Rachel, hit me up. It's been a while. Thank you all.
Everybody for leaving your comments on YouTube. We love and appreciate it so much. It's very cool of you. And see you on Friday.
Bye, BBs.